Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alison, the online piano and the online violin tutor. So today's video is going to be a lesson from my new long-awaited violin book 3, which takes us from lessons 21 to 30. Now I have to say that this is a true masterpiece. These are probably the best books I have written to date, even if I do say so myself. Comparing them to everything else that I have written, these are very, very comprehensive books. However, they have still been written for the self-learner in mind. And I can tell you guys right now that nothing online in the world exists like this. So these books come in 2 parts. So these are lessons 21 to 30, but I have split them into 2 parts. And the reason being is that this part 1 talks about third position. So this is lessons 21 to 25. And the second part talks about bowing techniques. You cannot buy these books separately. Once you buy the book, you get both of these. They don't really have anything to do with each other, so I have just simply separated them out into 2 books just for the purpose of clarifying that. In addition to these 2 books, as per usual, they will come with a Songbook 3, and it is very, very advisable that you buy Songbook 3. So on my shop, you will be able to buy these books, which are lessons 21 to 30, and you will be able to buy book 3 separately for $9.99. That's US dollars as well. However, you'll be able to buy them in a combo deal, all 3 books together, to save yourself a little bit of money. So everything you see here is going to be linked in the description bar underneath this video to purchase, and these are downloadable books only. I want to make that very, very clear. There is nothing physical to ship out, as with any of the books on my shop. They are 100% downloadable, so as soon as you've purchased, you just get straight on downloading and off you go. So I really hope you enjoy these next set of 10 lessons, and let's get into the lesson. Okay, so lesson 25, the final lesson of this third position book. So we're going to be playing 3 octave scales in third position, which is also an introduction to higher positions beyond third position as well. So this is kind of a twofold thing. So it's going to get you used to going up and down and shifting up and down in positions, as we've just been doing with the other previous lessons. But also I do like putting scales in my books anyway, because I feel like, because pieces are made up of scales and arpeggios, as I've always said, I feel like if you can do scales, you can do pretty much any piece. And on the next page, I have got 4 scales: G major, A major, B flat major, and D major. There are a ton more scales, but these are just the 4 that I have specifically picked out for you to play in this book. So there is some information for you to read on page 23 about the scales and the 3 octaves and third position and all that kind of thing, and some reasons why I've put them in, and this, that and the other, and all the good things that you're going to get from it. So you can go ahead and read everything that's on page 23. But now I'm going to play the 3 octave scales for you. So I've written all the finger numberings in. So you know what a scale is by now, because we've done them previously in book 2. And all we're doing now is we're doing 3 octave scales, so we're just going up higher into the higher positions. So basically it's all about intonation, shifting, moving up positions, and also a nice good firm bow, so you get a nice quality sound. So I'm going to play through G major, A major, B flat major, and D major. I'm using all the fingerings that I've put in the book. You shouldn't need any more fingerings that have been put in here. All the places where you're going to be shifting up and down are all written in this book. those are the 4/3 octave scales that we need to do, and I know that they are going a lot higher than we are usually prepared for, and it isn't just because we're doing third position in this book, but it's also because I wanted to put some more scales in this book as well. When you move on to part 2, which is bowing techniques and finger techniques, then at the end of this book there are going to be some scales in there, but I'm using those scales to work more on fingering and bowing techniques. So I needed to find a place to put some scales because I do like teaching scales as part of my method, and I just wanted to put them in this book. So just get used to playing in higher positions. The good thing is that you're going into higher positions on the E string, not really any other string, because it's much easier to go into higher positions on the E string. And what you want to do there is just play around with your thumb. So your thumb will need to have the ability to move. So again, when we were playing on this G string and it was all about moving this elbow here so that you can get the fingers round, same thing happens up here. I'm just kind of naturally assuming that you're making all these adjustments just because it's going to be natural to do so. And as I said in one of the previous lessons, just own it when you're playing up. You know, you don't want to get to the top and because everything's going to be off and your intonation is going to be off. So just own it. Play it with conviction. Play it like you mean it. If your intonation is slightly out, it doesn't matter. Especially when you get to those higher notes. Really, really enjoy it. And another little tip that you could do is to put a different E string on your violin. A lot of violinists do that. The one I usually recommend is Parastro Gold Label E string. That's a really nice one that gives you a really good clear tone, clarity, makes it a lot easier on the fingers and on the bow to get a good sound on the violin, especially if you're struggling because it's sounding a little bit squeaky. So changing to a really nice gold label for the E string, I think will go a long way in helping you get a good tone out of these scales. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed part 1 of this, and I look forward to seeing you for the bowing and fingering techniques in part 2, continuing on with lesson 26.